I'm going to go through very quickly. I'm going to go through the changes that we made to the demo. So at first I was going to change rapport because I think rapport needs to be more of a conversation. And then I realized that you can't really script rapport. Like, it's so hard to script rapport because it's a conversation, right? So you need to just have a conversation with people, right? Like, it just needs to be a conversation, you getting to know them. I did not tweak anything on the excited about side. I did tweak notes on the fast start, right? So I feel like this made it a little like more structured, right? So I just started my fast start contest where I have the opportunity to win some cool prizes, including almost every Cutco product, depending on the results of my first 10 days. My goal is to complete X demos, which would put me in a position to sell X amount, which is important to me because, and then I gave you a bunch of examples that you could either pick from or you could use your own things, right? The next one, scholarship. So what this is really, I mean, both parts of the page are important. I know that there's certain times where reps are like, I need to do a little bit quicker of a demo. And what I put is the bottom part is more optional, even though I would do it because I think it's powerful. It connects it to you and it like has a bigger picture of like what you could do with the scholarship because it has an example. Does that make sense? Cool. Then the next one, we tweaked, like very briefly, we tweaked this part. It just says, like I said on the phone, you don't have to buy anything, but if you see something you like, you can get it today. And Cutco really is awesome. You could buy sets or pieces, and we have tons of accessories and gifts. We also have an interest-free monthly investment option, so you don't have to pay for it all at once. The rest of it is all the same, but it's just a little more concise, right? On this one, what we decided to do was, since you're showing Wusthof at the end, we decided to take Wusthof off this slide, and we have the $6,000 Henkel set, and we have like the $400 Henkel set next to each other, and then we have reviews from the $400 Henkel set. So it says, chances are you don't price color for fun. Have you ever heard of Henkel's? Well, Henkel's is the world's most popular brand of knives. Cutco is the most popular set in the United States. Most people don't know that Henkel's actually has 10 different grades, and only a few of their highest tier are actually made by them in Germany. The rest are outsourced to other companies in Japan, China, Japan, or Spain. So you get a set like the one on the left for around $6,000 or the one on the right for around $400 that has reviews about customers feeling misled into buying a cheap product. And obviously $6,000 is a little pricey, but how much, so I changed it to how much does it, to how much can it cost to remodel a kitchen, right? It could cost tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes upwards of hundreds of thousands and months of time. Doesn't make sense for people to invest a bunch of time and money in their kitchen and then throw a crappy set of knives on the counter that doesn't look good nor work well when that's a tool that they will use every day. Also, how much can good flatware and china cost? It could be hundreds to thousands of dollars just for one place setting. It's funny how almost everyone I see has these expensive sets, but they only use them every few years. It doesn't make sense to skimp on the thing that they're using every single day and is on display in their kitchen. So high-end Henkels and other high-quality knives are definitely not cheap. They definitely are an investment, but they look better on the counter. They're a lot more enjoyable, and they just change the experience of cooking, right? So we simplified a little bit, and we're going to do the Wusthof later instead of on here, right? So let me tell you a little about the company. One thing that we tweaked is right here. I plan on reaching out to all my customers when we have our full product line back and to give everyone an update and check in, right? So then that way, like you have that built in there, right? And I tweaked the promises very small, but I made them a little more confident, right? So instead of saying it's literally something you would give, I changed it to it's literally something you will give to your kids one day, right? And instead of saying I only want you to get it if you realize, I change it to I only want you to get it when you realize it's something you will use every day for the rest of your life, which to me is just more confident verbiage. And a couple small tweaks to make it like flow a little bit better. I didn't change anything on common complaints. I didn't change anything on the handle. I didn't change anything on the guarantee. On this one, I added certain things that you could say, right? So like at 209, I love that they're American made and those guarantees are awesome, right? At 3 minutes, I was really impressed with how much goes into making these products. I love representing the best stuff out there, right? 410. Have you ever seen a draw knives like that one? 545, the chef's knife. That's one of the ones that I highly recommend to all my customers. People use that one a ton. 929. A lot of my customers love that they're dishwasher safe. Makes things so much easier, right? This page, I don't think I changed anything at all. This page, I did not change anything at all. This signature slide, I made it like a little bit. So I changed for the cheese knife. The cheese knife is our most popular individual knife and is our sharpest knife with the double D edge because it has a micro version of it. And the holes make it so that things don't stick, which makes it not only great, not only for cheeses, but other dense foods like potatoes, as well as fresh fruits and veggies. You could actually use the back hole as a bottle opener, which is just a little fun fact that I always use to set my demos. Our Petite Santoku is a more delicate chopping and dicing knife, which many people find to be more of a convenient size. It's great if the chef's knife's in the dishwasher or you're cooking with others. It's actually Rachel Ray's favorite knife, which is kind of funny because she has her own knife brand. And our Hardy Slicer has a thicker blade paired with our double D edge, making it an amazing heavy-duty slicing and barbecue knife. And then I didn't change anything else. So the thing that I changed briefly on this one is the beginning. So the complete set is for people who never want to buy another knife. It's for people who entertain often because it's the only set that comes with the full 12 place settings of our table knives. And it's great for people who love to cook because it has everything included in the signature. Plus the rest of our coloring line, blah, 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 didn't change any of that, right? I just felt like that was like a little bit better of an opening. That I did not change anything on this slide at all. This one I tweaked a little bit. So Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I'm sure you'd agree that you wouldn't compare Cutco to a cheap set of knives sold at a local bargain store for a few $100s. Also, you wouldn't compare it to a luxury set. Didn't change any of this. But I have a price comparison for some of our top competitors, Wusthof and Shun. These are high quality sets made overseas. They're two of the top selling brands in stores. And each brands have different types of sets which range in price, but these are their sets that are comparable to Cutco's basic set. If I didn't know about Cutco and I want to get a good set of knives, I'd probably get Wusthof Icon Blackwood. As you can see, the price of this Wusthof set is $3,435, but usually you can find it on sale for $1,999.95. And even for that type of money, it is well worth it. And then the rest is the same. It's just like small tweaks in there, right? We made this slide. Lily made this, and I think it looks way better than the other one, right? I think it's just more colorful and like a cleaner thing, right? And it shows you the value of what they're getting for free, right? We didn't really change anything else in the verbiage, just change that. For the galley, instead of going galley +6 into basic galley, we just show both of them at the same time, which I think is a little bit easier, right? So the next our galley set, it's a perfect starter set, blah, blah, blah. And then it says the galley with 6 table knives is this much. The basic galley is just this much. Do you prefer the set with or without table knives? Well, if you were to get that set, I could throw in shears or cheese knife. Is that something you'd be interested in trying? So that way you could go both of them at the same time instead of going one into the other. Does that make sense? Right. And we changed nothing on here and nothing on here. We changed nothing on here. The only thing we changed in the cookware slide is I added the lines to separate the sets a little bit better because it was all like floating there. And I just thought that the lines made it a little more clear. Right. And that's really it. That's the stuff that we changed. So like there's no big changes. It was just all little tweaks to make it a little more concise. And in my opinion, like a little more like stronger verbiage and that type of stuff. So what you'll do is I'm going to post the link for Morris and Sussex. Thomas and Lily are going to post the link for their office. So all you got to do is go to, and just hold off one sec, but all you got to do is go to slides.com and you go to the link that I just sent you, right? And you go to the make a copy, and you're going to have two copies. You're going to have your old one and you're going to have this one, right? So what you'll do is and everyone stay with me before you go and edit real quick. So what I would do is I would go to present and I would go to my old like about me slide and I would take a screenshot of it and I would paste it in Paint or whatever and I would cut it out so that you could just paste the old slide in the new one and then put your slide notes into the new one and just copy over the first 3 slides. The rest of them, you're not going to change at all. Does that make sense? So literally I would just, obviously, like if I would hopefully set this up, you know, hopefully yours looks a little better than mine. I would take a screenshot and I would just cut it out and paste that right into the new one. So you don't need to copy all the images over individually. And then I would just take my notes for the first couple and paste it in there and you're good, right? Any questions or comments or thoughts on the updates? All right. I'm going to stop.